welcome to our second lesson on the future forms, another Star Wars themed lesson. Now today we're going to be looking at two more difficult grammar tenses, the future continuous and
the future perfect.
Right everybody, the future continuous. Now this is a tense which describes an action which will be in progress at a point in the future. So for example, this time next week I'll be relaxing. I hope I will. This time next week I'll be relaxing. I'll be relaxing. Leila, do you want to tell us a little bit about the form?
The form, nice and simple actually. We obviously need will and the verb to be. Now remember, we told you in part 1 that will is a modal verb and you always need an infinitive form after it. In this case, the verb to be.
And always the verb to be. We don't change it with another one. So I'll be relaxing. So the verb that changes is the verb which describes the action which you will be doing. Leila, what do you think you'll be doing this time next week?
I'll be watching Star Wars Saturday evening.
Do you think you'll be enjoying it?
I think I'll be really enjoying it. And I'll be eating my popcorn.
So it's what will be happening. Now remember, we can of course change the subject, so it can be she'll be,
we'll be,
he'll be,
they'll be.
I think that's all.
Doing something.
It'll be.
It'll be.
Yes.
Okay, time phrases with the future continuous. We can use by this time next,
Christmas,
week,
next month, next year.
So we're referring to the point in time in the future.
So we really want to emphasize the point in the future that we're describing. We can't use this tense without that.
No, we do need it.
So for example, you might say, I think he'll be coming to the meeting next week. So you're saying, I think he'll be coming. So this will be in progress at that point. And the point is the meeting next week.
Absolutely.
So other examples would be things where we're talking about what will happen in someone's life at a time in the future.
And it is still a prediction in this case. So this time next year, I'll be
driving your new car, Leila?
Yes.
She's got a new car. So it's important to point out that this is still predictions. It's not completely fixed, although it's quite strong. The prediction is quite sure in some ways. So for example, Leila, what do you think we'll be doing this time next year maybe?
This time next year, I think we'll be celebrating reaching 100,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel.
That's right, yes. I think we'll be drinking champagne.
Yeah, maybe eating caviar.
Oh, yes. I think we'll be sailing to Ibiza.
Well, that would be lovely. We'll have to wait and see. We'll let you know next year. Okay, now this is possibly one of the more complex future forms, the future perfect. And as with the future continuous, we still need will and we still need an infinitive verb to follow. But this time, we're going to change that verb to have. I will have watched Star Wars by Sunday. In this case, we're not focusing on the action in progress, but in fact the
completed action. So she will have watched, the film is finished. She will have finished watching the film. So we might say, by this time next week, I will have taken my driving test. So we might be thinking, oh, I can't wait for this thing to be finished. I will have taken my driving test by this time next week.
That would be good. So it's again focusing on the completed action. So you're actually stepping ahead of the action. And if we also focus on the structure again, we are looking at will plus have plus what type of verb?
So the past participle. So the third form of the verb. So will have been or I will have taken. More examples, Leila?
I will have done, I will have watched,
I will have gone.
Now I think it's also important to note the pronunciation. There are a lot of verbs here. And as have is actually an auxiliary verb, we don't say have. Now remember, pronunciation and contracted forms as well as weak forms of verbs. In this case, I'll have watched the film. Have is not said have. It's actually
have.
Okay.
So I will have
I will have. Or I'll have. We can still contract
yes,
the
that's
will.
true. She'll have.
She'll have gone.
She'll have. So it's actually more of a f. She'll have.
She'll have.
He'll have.
It does. It's quite a weak form.
That's right.
And it's worth remembering that if you do want to sound more natural and more native, you need to focus on these weak forms and contractions. So, a couple of examples. I'll have watched the film.
I'll have been to the dance.
We'll have eaten a lot of chocolate.
I'll have finished my test.
Enough for you?
So guys, don't forget to comment below and try and use the grammar. Tell us, what will you have completed by this time next week or next month? Or what will you be doing this time next week or next month or next year, for example?
And don't forget those time phrases. By this time next week, by next Wednesday.
This time next month. I think the grammar force was strong with me, Leila. I think it was very strong. Who had the better grammar force?
Don't forget to let us know what you think of the new Star Wars film and if you are in fact a Star Wars fan.
That's right, guys. Tell us all about what you thought. We're very curious to know. And don't forget to subscribe, and you can find us on
Facebook,
Snapchat,
Instagram,
and Twitter.
Thanks for watching.
And may the force be with you.
Oh, yeah.
If you want more grammar, you can click this lesson or this lesson. Clever you are, methinks. And may the force be with you.